Today's session was definitely one of a kind. It was weird and different. I've got the hiccups. It was weird and different and very interesting. And I'm moving, by the way, so that's why it's really messy. So my character Adriana, I chose her to have a fox as a spirit animal because, which I will explain later in my on my WordPress. But yeah, my classical character Adriana is from Comedy of Errors, and interestingly enough, Comedy of Errors was Shakespeare's first play, which I found actually really interesting. So we focused a lot on like weird instinct exercises, which makes sense because we focus on animals the whole day, so it'd be best to follow instinct. So there was an exercise, the balloon exercise, where we'd lie down on the floor, be completely relaxed. But with our instincts, we'd had to lift our arm up, but it had to be like with instinct. It couldn't be like forceful, and it's just really like simple. It was really simple exercise, but it was quite effective at getting the message across that we need to follow instincts when behaving like animals. So then we had another exercise where the actual like animalistic one, where we had to there was a countdown, so our tutor would count down or up from 1 to 10 or 10 to 1, and 1 being human and 10 being the animal, like the most animalistic you can be. And so it was really, really weird because I'm not a person who normally feels self-conscious necessarily or insecure around other people. Like, I'm very comfortable with myself, and so being nervous wasn't like by any means like a barrier. That wasn't something I was worried about. I didn't know if I looked animalistic enough, but I definitely felt it. By 10, I was growling because I was a fox, and foxes normally scream. Yeah, they're weird with sound and noises, but yeah, by the end I was growling and scratching. Whoa. And then we moved on to social behaviour. And social behaviour was very interesting when we had to react to everyone around us, but as animals. So there was this part, I think, I don't know, I forgot what Ria's animal was. I think it was a cow, maybe, I don't know, or something else. It definitely wasn't no, it was, I forgot what it was, but I remember her like going past me, and I just snapped at her, like, because foxes tend to are very solitary, so they like to have their own space, and they're quite reserved. And so I prowled over to the end of the room, in a corner, and I sat there observing, because they observe a lot. They observe, and when they have the moment, they go for the kill. And so I was just observing as the animal, and it was just really interesting to react to my social surroundings. So from the whole session today, I learned a lot. I learned that I can definitely feel like a fox. Like, it's so bizarre to say, like, how would you ever feel like an animal? But I felt like a fox. And I learned that we all looked fucking crazy. Like, we all looked so crazy doing it, but it was amazing because it became a comfortable environment where no one was self-conscious, because everyone was just going at it, being their animals. And I definitely am going to use inspo from this for my character development. I don't necessarily see her as evil or malicious character, but she is very much she observes, like the fox, her husband, sees that he's very close friends with a prostitute, sees that he spends some time alone, and puts 2 and 2 together and gets 3. And she's, I'd imagine my character to be quite reserved, as in my interpretation, I'd imagine her to be quite reserved. She wouldn't talk to anyone else except her husband. Very, like, quite sad, to be honest. And, like, already these things that I'm saying I've already started thinking about because of today's exercise, and so I can't wait to do more stuff like this, maybe with music or maybe with art, to see where it goes and where I can learn even more about Adriana through various exercises.